Did you know that the world record for a pole vaulter is held by a college athlete? The world record is 20 feet and 2.5 inches. Did you also know that the world record for a long jump is also held by a college athlete? This is sitting at 29 feet and 11.5 inches. There is no doubt that college athletes can do amazing things. There's no doubt. But do you ever wonder how they manage it all? Being a college athlete myself, I hope to inform everyone listening today just how difficult it can be to balance a college athlete's everyday life, responsibilities, school on top of athletics. It's just a very difficult thing we have to do. But again, we all signed up for it. We all enjoy being a student athlete, so there are consequences to being a student athlete, and the biggest being sleep deprivation, which I hope to talk to you all about and inform you all about a little bit more today. I can promise you, if anyone needs rest, it is student athletes. Not only for our minds, not only for our bodies, but just to take a break, and that's pretty much the only break we get during the day. We normally go from class to class to class to practice, and then it's homework time, it's study time. So there's really not enough time in the day to get everything done we would like to normally get done. So rest just allows us to step back and stop our minds from thinking, stop our bodies from moving, and allow us to get up the very next day and do it all over again. According to an NCAA study, research showed that one-third of student athletes get less than 7 hours of sleep per night. This is generally more likely in women. There are more than 460,000 NCAA students, athletes. If 1/3 of those student athletes are getting a lack of sleep, that would mean 150,000 student athletes are resulting in a lack of sleep every single night. That's a very, very large number. As for the causes of sleep deprivations in a student, it's mainly because of the responsibilities we have. To get to the point where we all had to be good students in the classroom. We all had to be good athletes on the field or the court or on the golf course or anything. And so sleep deprivation normally is because of us being student athletes trying to do the best in everything we can possible. Also, because we're athletes, I think the majority of student athletes are fairly competitive. So we don't like to lose. We don't like to do bad on tests. We don't like to not turn in our homework. So we are going to do everything in our power to try to get it all done. And it can be extremely difficult. I've been there, and I hope later in my speech to talk a little bit more about experiences I've gone through with sleep deprivation. But making sleep a priority needs to be a part of our priorities in general. Sleep is so important, not only for athletes, but for anyone. Sleep allows us to keep going the next day. So I think it's wild that 150,000 student athletes, are getting a lack of sleep. That shouldn't be happening. So But according to another study I researched, according to Jim Davis, a graduate from Harvard University with a master's in psychology, says that Americans have been sleeping less and less and less hours of sleep every single night since the 1940s. This resulting in a merely 6.8 hours of sleep per night. 6.8 hours. That is crazy. The CDC recommends 8 to 10 hours for adolescents and 7 to 9 hours in adults. And we are on average sleeping 6.8 hours a night. No wonder America's going a little crazy. We all need more sleep. Because we're sleeping 6.8 hours a night, we are generally considered a sleep-deprived nation. That's just, it's really crazy, and it's really almost sad to hear, because I think Americans are such strong and hard workers, and college athletes are such strong and hard workers. Everyone in America just wants to keep going and keep going and keep going, but like sometimes we need to take a step back and just think that if we're not giving our minds and our bodies the break that we need, we're not going to be able to function properly. And I actually came across another study that was talking about how there is no counterbalance to sleep deprivation. Like there's none. And so sleep deprivation can ultimately cause you can get in a car crash easily if you're sleep deprived. It can increase the potential risk for Alzheimer's and dementia. And disease. It's just, the list goes on and on. Sleep is just something we need to keep ourselves healthy and sane at the end of the day. So I found those studies, all of those studies I researched, very, very interesting and intriguing. But onto myself, being a student athlete, I think it's fairly easy for me to talk about this subject. I'm on the women's golf team at Florida Southern. So for women's golf, we have 2 seasons, fall and spring. Unlike the majority of other sports, they only have 1 season. So just a little bit about how our women's golf and how our whole, how we function. So we normally, if we have a tournament, we normally compete on Mondays and Tuesdays, so we proceed to miss those 2 days of classes. We normally play 18 holes on Monday and 36 holes on Tuesday. So 18 holes is about, you get there for an hour warm-up, we play for about 5.5 hours. So it's a total of like a 7-hour ordeal that day. And then the next day, we're probably already sleep deprived from the day before, waking up early, playing golf, going to team dinner, still having to do schoolwork. So the following day we have 36. So we wake up around 5:30, 6 a.m. and get to the course, probably play around 7:30, 8 o'clock, and we don't finish till about 6:30 or 7 at night. So that is an extremely long day for anyone, especially doing a physical activity. I remember days getting back from 36 holes and not even going to sleep until 6 in the morning because I had schoolwork to do. I had to get it done somehow, and I've always been very strict. I've never not turned in a homework. I can't live with myself if I don't get my schoolwork done. And I think a lot of other college athletes are competitive like that, and they want to do well in school and do the best of their ability. So I can see firsthand that sleep deprivation is a major problem, and it just, it really affects so much. I remember after some of those nights being up till 6 in the morning, I could see effects in my ability to clearly think, just focus on anything. And then the week following, I could see myself, my whole sleep pattern was messed up just because of one night. So it really affects student athletes more than a lot of people realize and know. So in conclusion, I hope all of you learned a little bit more about how sleep deprivation is real in college athletes. It unfortunately affects us way more than we would have, way more than we would like it to. But I think a lot of college athletes would agree with this quote. Sleep is like a unicorn. It is rumored to exist, but I will doubt to see any of it. Thank you.